Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun Live. Dear brethren, dear Templars, thank you very much for joining me. Remember, read beyond the caption of this broadcast. Read the description as well. Like it. Share it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. Thank you very much if you have done that already. So tonight, we shall continue from the reports on the launched lawfare against Dele Farotimi, against Dele Farotimi's book, the book which has now opened the can of worms, as we call it in Scotland, worms. So where the criminals who have been swimming in the puddle of corruption, judicial corruption, have been having what is called the spasm or something, like where their entire body has been sort of shaken since the launch of Dele Farotimi's book, Nigeria and its criminal judicial system. They have launched what we call the lawfare. At first, it was like it had to happen like in sequence. We first kidnap him, then we look for a judge that can help incarcerate him, lock him up, so that nobody can hear from him. Then we can now launch the media trial, the media escapade, to tell everybody that cares to listen to us that he has offended the people that should not be offended. He has touched the establishment where they didn't expect to be touched, and see how many people we can convince that we are not corrupt. There is no impunity. We do not control the judiciary. We do not control, justice system. So let's see how much and how many people we can convince, and how many court orders we can obtain before he will finally have a chance of defending himself. And it is happening in sequence. So tonight, we shall talk about the latest one of one lunatic called Ade Faro. I think that's his name. Ade Faro, who has written a 90-page petition against Dele Farotimi and Dele Farotimi's book. He has also submitted a case, which you have a bit of a copy of it on your screen there, right? Olafaro, rather. Mr. Olafaro has sued Dele Farotimi, as well as Dele Farotimi's publishers, DF Legal, Dele Farotimi's legal practice, to court somewhere in Port Harcourt. Remember, another criminal, judicial criminal in Ibadan, also sued Dele Farotimi, and the Nigerian police also sued Dele Farotimi. Everybody is suing into the cesspool of corruption, the judiciary. And guess what? They all are the proxies fighting for the coward, 95-year-old coward, Babalola, the man who has been so influential, right? He is a role model to so many criminals parading themselves as lawyers in Nigeria. Most of them have become a senior advocate of nuisance. those who are helping the rogues, the criminal politicians, and even the other criminals in that system to escape justice. And they call it legal practice. So this Mr. Olafaro says he's suing Dele Farotimi, and he is also writing this petition on his personal capacity, as well as on behalf of Afe Babalola and Co. That is Afe Babalola's chambers in Lagos, Ado-Ekiti, and everywhere they have branches all over Nigeria. In his petition, he said that Dele Farotimi has betrayed the legal profession. That Dele Farotimi had brought the legal profession to ridicule with his book called The Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. He said Dele Farotimi lied, that everything he wrote in this book are all lies to defame not just Afe Babalola, but the Nigeria Supreme Court, as well as the Lagos State Judiciary. Isha wrote all these things there, right? You know, one thing that I find interesting is this. Every one of them that is suing Dele Farotimi, right? Every bunch of cowards suing him. They have done one thing. They bought the book. Do you understand? They bought the book. They read the book. And they looked for what and what they could sue for. And that's a win on the part of Dele Farotimi, that those who believe that they are pretty much untouchable, they have to pay to buy the book. That's a win. If your enemies have to actually buy the book that exposes them, so as for them to think they have what they can use in evidence. But here is how they are cowards. Defamation is not a criminal offense. We'll keep reminding you, except in a contraption like Nigeria. It is not a criminal offense, which means it is a civil case where 100 people can sue him. Now, you can sue him by not kidnapping him. But what these guys have done is that they are cowards who are so, in my own opinion, they are so scared to face Dele Farotimi in court without probably disgracing themselves. You know what that means? It simply means that they might be parading themselves as lawyers, parading themselves as a senior advocate of nuisance. But they are a bunch of cowards. Because normal, as they all know, if you really want to fight Dele Farotimi, even using your own system, what you could have done is what they are doing now. Sue him. And then you too can have your days in court. Whether it is in Port Harcourt, in Zamfara, in Abuja, in Ekiti, in Ibadan, wherever. You should be able to at least not kidnap him and lock him up. Use a judge, okay, to deny him bail, so that you will now be like you are talking to yourself, like making yourself feel better. That's exactly what they are doing right now. The person they are fighting is not fighting them, but they are making themselves feel good that they are the accuser, they are the prosecutor, they are also the judges in their own case. But where is Dele Farotimi? They locked him up somewhere in order to further give a credence to Dele Farotimi's book. In Dele Farotimi's book, he made it clear, very clear to us all, that Nigeria judiciary is a cash and carry, a group of criminals wearing wigs in Nigeria. And not just the judges. They are mostly corrupted by the lawyers, starting with Afe Babalola, the old rogue, the old crook. who, after practicing law for 70 years, in his own words, is afraid of a young man that is old enough to be his son. He is not even bold enough to sue Dele Farotimi. So rather, he used the police to kidnap him, used the corrupt judge, magistrate court for that matter, magistrate court judge or chief magistrate court to lock him up. And then they embarked on a media escapade, as well as a judicial madness to further give the credence to Dele Farotimi's book. Sue him to anywhere, but don't use the system to lock him up somewhere so that you can be sounding intelligent to your gullible listeners, the conquered Nigerians. So one went to court in Ibadan, and the court says they are going to give judgment to if Dele Farotimi failed to show up in 30 days. Another one, Olafaro, went to Port Harcourt, and he said, the court there says, if Dele Farotimi failed to show up in 42 days, they are going to give judgment. Then the same person went on to write petition that Dele Farotimi should be removed as a lawyer. Person we don't resign already, we don't retire already. He's a retired lawyer. So if you really want to fight him, what you should have done to start with is like, there is no criminal case here, right? So when he applied for bail, the intention is to make sure that he is not granted bail. Yeah. And if it's not granted bail, so that will give them the leverage, okay, to talk about Dele Farotimi in their media. I sensed it. I think it was 3 days ago. I said, one of the things they are going to do is to possibly use another court, another judge in Nigeria. And that judge is going to say, even if they release Dele Farotimi tomorrow, a judge in Nigeria will say, Dele Farotimi must not talk about the book. Dele Farotimi must not talk about the case, but they can talk about it. Look at all of them. If you turn on your TV in Nigeria now, there's a chance that every day there is at least more than 2-3 TV or radio stations in Nigeria talking about this. But the man that they are all talking about, they have him locked up somewhere. So the people they wrote petition to remove his name from legal practitioners, like, Nigerian thing is that one of the impunity in Nigeria is that once you step on the toes of a big man, right, he would use his supposed criminal weight to crush you. Yeah, it is a Nigerian thing. I will show you. The first thing, I think it was James Sibori. Yeah, it was James Sibori that told Ribadump, that's your Ribadu of today. That is with Tifnumbu. When Ribadol was the EFCC chairman, and he was investigating all these governors, thieves, he investigated James Sibori. James Sibori was the governor of Delta State then. The looting of Delta State treasury, right? So when Obasanjo appointed Ribadu as the EFCC chair, he gave him this free hand that with your immunity, you are not spared from Ribadu. So one thing now happened. Obasanjo appointed Yaradua to succeed him. Meanwhile, Ribadu and co, they were friends with Yaradua, your non-corrupt, dead Yaradua. Because I know some of you probably keep telling yourself that Yaradua was the best president in Nigeria. He is not corrupt and all of that stuff. I'll spare you your ignorance, okay? So the likes of James Sibori, they were with Yaradua, without Obasanjo's knowledge. So when Yaradua became president, it now became obvious that the likes of the likes of James Ibori, they actually funded Yaradua's corrupt, rigged, victory at the time to become your president. So one day, when I think it was before Yaradua was sworn in as your president at the villa, James Ibori saw Ribadu coming out of the villa, and he was going into the villa as, for NEC or something meeting with Obasanjo, just like a few days before the swearing in of Yaradua, before the end of the term of Obasanjo. So James Ibori saw Ribadu. Even though EFCC was supposed to be getting ready to arrest corrupt governors, according to the dossier of Ribadu, and this was supposed to be done by the coming government, because all these governors will not have immunity anymore. Few days ago. So James Ibori now saw Ribadu coming out of the villa, and he met him and he stopped him. He said, "No, come here." In the public glare of everyone, he said, "Listen, you see, by the time I am done with you, me, James Ibori, by the time I am done with you, you will regret the day you were born. And let me tell you this. The first thing is, you will be removed as the EFCC chairman. And not just that. You will then be demoted. After your demotion, you will be arrested. And then you will be prosecuted for the same corruption that you are charging me for. In that order, you will be removed. You will be demoted. Ribadu was supposed to be a police officer that Obasanjo just picked up, Assistant Commissioner of Police. He was picked up to lead EFCC at the time, and he became the EFCC czar, like anti-corruption czar, EFCC superstar. So immediately that Yaradua became president, few months, I think it was like about a month or two, Nuhu Ribadu was removed as the EFCC chair. He was sent back to Kuru, where he was supposed to go and embark on a particular course, Kuru, in Jos. From there, he was demoted from the Assistant Commissioner of Police. No, hang on. I think he was promoted from Assistant Commissioner of Police to AIG by Obasanjo. So he got demoted, right, to something below Assistant Commissioner of Police. Then after that, he heard that his arrest is imminent. He will soon be arrested. You know what happened? Nuhu Ribadu ran away from Nigeria. So those of you who are not too young to remember this, I hope I probably just reminded you of something, right? It is a Nigerian big man thing. If you step on their toe, police college in Kuru, God bless you. They said there was a particular course that he was supposed to have done. He didn't do it. Obasanjo gave him like a triple or quadruple promotion, that Ribadu was likened to an Assistant Inspector General of Police. Here you get. So he was demoted, right? Then he was about to be arrested. Nuhu Ribadu, he ran away from Nigeria. Throughout the time of Yaradua, until the death of Yaradua, Nuhu Ribadu ran away from Nigeria. He didn't return back to Nigeria. That's a Nigerian big man thing. If you dare them and you are not protected, you don't have any godfather, that's exactly what will happen to you. They will come for you in a big way. And it will come in sequence. It's going to be in sequence. Dele Farotimi told us, he said, there is a plot. Number one, they said there is a case against him in Ekiti, but they know where he is living in Lagos. They did not serve him any court case. The only petition written against him by Afe Babalola and Tony Elumelu was sent to a Lagos police station, the zone 2 in Lagos, where Dele Farotimi responded to that petition, and it was released on his personal recognizance. Oh, you are a lawyer? Okay, you can go. But you need to come back when we call you again. on the 21st of November, we need you to come back here. Again, say, I'll come back. On the 21st of November, he went back again to the same place where the only existing petition on record from Afe Babalola and Tony Elumelu existed. There was no court case in Ekiti. There was no police petition in Ekiti that was sent to Dele Farotimi. None. There's no record. But guess what? He knew what they were up to. It's been like cooked in sequence that way. Okay? So, up to this moment, nobody has been able to tell us which Ekiti court issued bench warrant against Dele Farotimi. Where is the copy of that bench warrant that Dele Farotimi was supposed to attend a court case in Ekiti and he did not show up? There's no single one. Not a single one. So he said they were going to use that same fake bench warrant to bundle him and kidnap him from Lagos, where he will be denied bail. About just exactly how he said it. He will be denied bail. He will be locked up. And around that time, all these human rights lawyers who are the human rights civil society nonsense, social media influencers, media houses will now be mobilized to impugn his personality. That is, to begin to talk all kind of trash against him. By then, they would have locked him up somewhere. Okay? He said it. And that's exactly what they are doing. Exactly what they are doing. Number one, police commissioner using non-existing Ekiti law to charge Dele Farotimi for defamation. Not defamation against police, not defamation against Ekiti government, defamation against private citizen. Private citizen. So police is charging him for defamation at magistrate court too. When they discover that, oh no, this one no go fly. It's just going to be like temporary. And before we know it, we can't hold him for too long. We would have to let him go. And if we let him go, this man is probably going to begin to say a lot. And the way things are going, we need to kill this what do you call it? This momentum. Police IG jumped in. Said, no, we are not charging you for defamation again. Police IG is charging him for cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and harassment. Not harassment of the police, not harassment of the government, harassment of a private citizen. Afe Babalola. Harassment, cyberbullying, cyber stalking by police IG at the Federal High Court. Because that one is what do you call it? Cyber stalking, cyber bullying, cyber harassment. They have that under the 2015 cybercrime law signed by Bokwari. Remember that Bokwari started this cyber that after they deceived people with their change nonsense. And when they couldn't deliver on their change, and the rest of you that defended them on social media campaigned for them, when you started coming for them, they said, okay, they have to jail you. That you are harassing the government online, which means you will go to jail or you will pay 500,000 naira. Remember, and that is what the police IG is now using to defend the private citizen. The coward Afe Babalola, a lawyer of 70 years, because of a book that exposed him, right? Could not go to court himself. The shameless old man couldn't go to court. Because if you go to court, that means Dele Farotimi would have to face you one-on-one. You have to face yourselves. Abi, you would have to prove. It is not even Dele Farotimi that has to prove that this book is a lie. Everything inside this book is a lie. Not Dele Farotimi. It is Afe Babalola that has to prove that what is written in this book is a lie. And they don't want to have one-on-one with him in court. They don't want to. Because Baba Kasala go bust. Rather than do that, they decided to launch a what do you call it? Lawfare. Lawfare on him simply means they will use everything. It's like throwing everything at him, waiting for which of them is going to actually really, stick. Here you get. So while that was still ongoing, another one, Kehinde Ogunwumiju, a young man that became SAN at the age of 36, using the same corrupt system, he actually hold his legal whatever SAN to Babalola, sued Dele Farotimi for they should stop the production of this book. They must